On the news, Nigeria runs out of cholera vaccine as infection spreads to 30 states. Rivers State Governor Fubara replaces Wike's ally Awuse as chairman of Traditional Rulers Council. And Kano CP says police won't comply with directive on eviction of Bayero. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I'm Sinisola Achiko. As the death toll from the latest cholera outbreak hits 40, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control says the country does not have enough vaccines. According to the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Jide Idris, Nigeria has placed an order for more cholera vaccines from donor agencies, even though the date of delivery is still unknown. In Lagos, where the cholera strain is more aggressive, the state government says the number of fatalities from the outbreak has risen to 35 following the last update. According to the Lagos government, the State Emergency Operations Center, in collaboration with all relevant partners, is actively engaged in contact tracing, community-based surveillance, awareness campaigns, sample testing, and ensuring that confirmed cholera cases receive appropriate medical treatment. In Nigeria, cholera, a food and waterborne disease caused by ingesting the bacteria Vibrio cholerae, is an endemic and seasonal disease, occurring annually mostly during the rainy season and more frequently in areas with poor sanitation. Speaking on the cholera outbreak in Nigeria on TV 360's flagship program, Deji 360, public health practitioner Dr. Abasi Ekanem has stressed the need for the country to embrace the use of vaccines and other preventive measures to curb the spread of the acute diarrheal infection. Ekanem blamed the scarcity of vaccines on inequality and dependence on foreign-produced ones.
I believe that this shouldn't have been a surprise, though it seems like a surprise to us, because I remember many years ago, Nigeria had the first, I think we developed the first cholera vaccine in Africa. And unfortunately, that vaccine could not see the light of day. And because of that, we have to depend on other countries of the world to be able to have access to vaccine. And because of the issues around nationalization of vaccines and inequality as regards to access to healthcare, we are not able to have access to the vaccine. The awareness, like you said, is very low. A lot of people always, mistake cholera for amoebic dysentery or gastroenteritis. Unfortunately, they are not the same thing. And because of that, many people arrive hospitals and healthcare centers late because most of them would resort to self-treatment or self-medication when it comes to cholera management. And because of this, we are seeing an increase in number of in the rate of mortality, because most cases of cholera in Nigeria and in Lagos in particular arrive the healthcare facility very, very late. And this is a major challenge for us. So as a healthcare, as a country, we need to strengthen awareness as regards cholera. We need to strengthen the drive towards cholera vaccination. I believe that it is time for us to include cholera vaccination in our routine vaccination and ensure that everyone has that vaccination once every year. This has not been achieved so far, and I think that this is a wake-up call for the government, especially now that we have a very virulent strain, a very severe strain. We need to make sure that we include cholera vaccine in our routine vaccination so that everyone can be protected. And remember that if everyone is not protected, no one is protected. Herd immunity is one of the ways we can actually tackle cholera in Nigeria.
A federal high court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture of properties worth 12.18 billion naira linked to former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, who is facing multiple counts of fraud and abuse of office. Justice Chukwujeku Aneke ordered the final forfeiture of the properties located in the upmarket areas of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, after hearing an application filed and argued by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) through its counsel Chineye Okezie. According to the anti-graft agency, Emefiele is suspected of having bought the choice properties by proxy with the proceeds of fraud. The EFCC named 2 current and 1 former CBN staff as Emefiele's accomplices in the alleged fraud. Amid the political crisis in Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has appointed the King of Akpara Kingdom in Obio Akpo local government area, Eze Chike Wodo, to chair the Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers. Eze Wodo, who recently visited Governor Fubara to pledge his support for his administration, is to replace King Sergeant Awuse, an ally of the former governor, now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Awuse, a prominent politician, marked his first year as traditional ruler in June last year, while serving as the chairman of the State Council of Traditional Rulers. At a meeting with the government classified traditional rulers at the Government House, Governor Fubara said the appointment of a new chairman is due to the inactivity and the absence of effective leadership of the council under Awuse. Meanwhile, analysts have described the political tension in Rivers State as the product of power play between former Governor Nyesom Wike and his successor, Siminalayi Fubara. Analyzing the situation, the experts say such show of superiority, although not new, ends up stalling development in a state, thereby affecting the people.
What's just playing out is just power play amongst these political gladiators. Power play and of course to also grab economic power. It has nothing to do with what the citizens of Rivers State are going through. It's just to grab political power and then of course to hold down the economy of the state. What's happening now is something similar like this happened in 2014. When I think it was like 5 members trying to take over the house. And sometimes as a nation, when you let these things happen, it will always come back again, and that is what is repeating itself. And most of the people engaged in all this back and forth are some of the people from 2014, so they've all been around. So it's a shame that we find ourselves in this kind of a situation. But like I said, it's just a political power play. That's just what is just going on. And it's unfortunate that the citizens of the state are the ones suffering for it.
So what is at play? Wike said it, that it's not about money, but it's about the structure, about relevance. So what is at play is about political survival for the 2 camps, Wike and Fubara. Fubara is now the governor. He will need to assert his authority right from the local government. So the first thing is you remove the local government whose tenure has expired. And then you now also have the party officials at the local government and ward level. That is the next fight after this fight.
Yes.
So we should mark it because it's not about to be over. So at the end of the day, what is going to happen is that there will be a winner, there will be a loser, depending on the determination of the court. And like you asked my brother there, the local government chairman who's been there for 3 years, their tenure haven't expired. Even if somebody says, I have extended your tenure and they know it's undemocratic, the best thing is to pack your things and go.
As the struggle for the Kano emirate still rages on, the State Police Command says it will not comply with the directive of the state government on the eviction of Aminu Bayero, the deposed 15th emir of Kano. Speaking in an interview with newsmen on Friday, Kano Commissioner of Police Usaini Gumel said the state government is jumping the gun with the eviction directive. On Thursday, the Federal High Court in Kano nullified all actions by the state government repealing the Kano Emirates Council Law of 2019 on May 23. The presiding judge, Mohammed Liman, held that the defendants were aware of an interim order previously granted by the court, but ignored it and implemented the Kano Emirates Council Law 2024. Earlier, I spoke with journalist and political affairs analyst based in Kano State, Ibrahim Hassan, and began by asking his thoughts on the police commissioner's refusal to follow the state government's directive.
I think
the Commissioner of Police, CP Hussein Gumel, is just doing his job. As he rightly said, he is there to protect law and order, and then the rule of law will decide whether, as the court pleases, if the court asks CP Gumel to evict Aminu, definitely he will evict Aminu, but it's not the duty of the Kano State government to tell him whether or not to. From my opinion, both of them are actually right. The Kano State government thinks the governor, as the chief security of the state, actually thinks he has the right to decide what happens. You understand? But then the commissioner of police is actually working on the directives of the federal government. Everyone knows that.
Now, meanwhile, the man in the middle of this whole tussle, that's Muhammadu Sanusi, who was reinstated as the 16th emir of Kano, describes his reinstatement as a correction of Ganduje's, that's the former governor, his attack on the state's collective history. And what are your thoughts on this statement?
You see, the Kano Emirates, the history of the Kano Emirates dates back to more than 1,000 years. And Ganduje, on the other hand, used his political power to actually balkanize the Emirates. This has happened in the past, I think 40 years ago, when Rimi actually did the same, and Governor Sabo Bakinzo reversed the law and deposed the other 4 emirs. But in his case, that of Sabo Bakinzo, he didn't actually depose the then emir, His Highness Adu Bayero. Rather, he only deposed and made the other emirates a second-class emirate and continued the way it is. I think Sanusi's reinstatement is actually correcting the ill will of Ganduje. And I think if you look at what is happening now in Kano, it's just a matter of political and judicial shit show. Everyone wants to maintain followership. Everyone wants to show the world that he is in charge. And that is just what is happening. Governor Yusuf, Abba Kabir Yusuf, has corrected the wrong of Ganduje, and I'm sure, I feel like the citizens of Kano will welcome this, because we hold the Emirates to a very high esteem, and we would not want anything to happen to our culture, to happen to our tradition, and to happen to our history. So Governor Kabir Yusuf actually instated His Highness the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, to actually correct the wrongs of Ganduje. And in this way, I am actually in support of it, and I think he's done very good.
Another story is the exponential increase in the prices of foreign used cars has led to a surge in demand for Nigerian used vehicles as citizens sought for alternatives to meet their mobility needs. Factors such as the foreign exchange crisis, government policies, and other market dynamics have exerted a significant impact on prices of all car categories in the Nigerian auto market, especially foreign used cars, due to their tiers to exchange rate. Our correspondent Sydney Okafo has more on this story.
55-year-old Ben Moses, a commercial bus driver, has plans to switch business to cab driving in Lagos. Sadly, he cannot afford a foreign used car, popularly known as Tokumbo, as he originally planned. The continuous increase in the prices of foreign used cars has left him with no option than to scout for Nigerian used cars, also called Naija cars.
I prefer going for the Nigerian used because of the ability of my pocket. If not, no one will say foreign used, and to compare to Nigerian used, of course, if you have the money, you go for the foreign used or brand new. The people driving brand new, they are not with 2 heads or 3 heads. You get what I'm saying? So it is the situation now that is making me to go for Nigerian use.
The managing director of Lampet Nigerian Limited Company, Olariwaju Adebayo, has been a car dealer in Lagos for over 26 years. He recounts the challenges facing the automobile industry since the devaluation of the naira, coupled with the foreign exchange crisis.
If you go to car shops around Lagos, you will see that you have spaces in the premises. Number one reason is nobody is bringing in car. Those that are bringing in, they're expensive. You wouldn't want to bring a car and it will be in your shop and you'll be washing the car forever. You understand? So because of that, virtually all the dealers, they're buying car locally. They're buying locally. Even companies are now buying locally. They can't afford to buy brand new.
Although he still sells foreign used cars, but demand has reduced drastically due to increase in import duties.
Clearing, they keep increasing the clearing duty virtually every month. When you go to paper, when you check on the list, you say, oh, the clearing has changed, we have to add this, we have to add that, we have to, with different, is not easy.
Recent economic policies that have affected the automobile industry include the adjustment of import duties, increased taxation, as well as the planned automation of port processing procedures in 2023.
Like I do tell my marketers, consistency, no matter what. There is no any business that doesn't have hazard. There is nothing you can do in the whole world, no matter how lucrative the business is, you will still have 1 or 2 things that will be like ups and downs. So one thing that you need to do is just focus was, oh, I'm going somewhere. I have to get there. No matter what, I don't want to relent. This business, I'll succeed in this business.
In a bid to improve compliance and streamlining import procedures in the automotive industry, the federal government has set a 90-day opportunity effective from March 4, 2024 to July 5, 2024, to regularize import tariff on certain categories of automobiles. The Nigerian Customs Service has also suspended the 25% penalty on improper imported vehicles. It remains to be seen how much impact these moves will have on the prices of previously used cars in the country. Sydney Okafo, TV360, Lagos.
We'll take a break here, but coming up, CBN reveals 13 states show inflation slowdown, according to Apex Bank. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. As the death toll from the latest cholera outbreak hits 40, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control says the country does not have enough vaccines. According to the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Jide Idris, Nigeria has placed an order for more cholera vaccines from donor agencies, even though the date of delivery is still unknown. According to the Lagos government, the State Emergency Operations Center, in collaboration with all relevant partners, is actively engaged in contact tracing, community-based surveillance, awareness campaigns, sample testing, and ensuring that confirmed cholera cases receive appropriate medical treatment. We also told you that Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State has appointed the King of Akbara Kingdom in Obio Akpo local government area, Eze Chike Wodo, to chair the Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers. Eze Wodo, who recently visited Governor Fubara to pledge his support for his administration, is to replace King Sergeant Awuse, an ally of the former governor, now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. At a meeting with the government classified traditional rulers at Government House, Banks, Governor Fubara said the appointment of a new chairman is due to the inactivity and the absence of effective leadership of the council under Awuse. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Business, Nigeria's monthly inflation rate has slowed for the third consecutive month, indicating the effectiveness of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN's monetary policy tightening measures. This was disclosed by the CBN in a statement to journalists on Saturday. The decline in inflation rates is a nationwide trend, with 13 states, including Abuja, Akwa Ibom and Rivers, experiencing a slowdown in year-on-year inflation in May. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, headline month-on-month inflation fell to 2.14% in May from 2.29% in April and 3.02% in March. Food inflation also declined for the third straight month in May, reaching 2.28%. The Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, has urged the Nigerian government to adopt alternative policies that will bring about economic prosperity for the country in the coming years. The Director General of NECA, Adewale Onyeride, said this during a press conference on the upcoming Nigeria Employers Summit, themed Economic Renaissance, Harnessing Government Reforms and Private Sector Agility, scheduled to hold on June 25 to 26, 2024. According to Onyeride, the organized private sector has established itself as an essential pillar for national development. He remarked that having endured various reforms and economic plans, the sector consistently acts as the primary engine of national growth. In other countries, foreign media will once again be able to obtain accreditation to cover events and activities in Togo starting from June 26th. This announcement was made by the High Authority for Audiovisual and Communication in a recent statement. The establishment has said the suspension was because of serious failures in the coverage of Togo's politics by French media and issues with a French journalist who was expelled from Togo. An official statement specifies that any accreditation request must be submitted to the president of the HAAC at least 15 days before the start of an event, except in urgent cases. With just a week remaining before a presidential election, Iranians are divided over whether voting will address pressing economic issues and the mandatory hijab laws. Iranians will head to the polls on June 28 to choose from 6 candidates, 5 conservatives and a relative reformist, to succeed Ebrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash in May. Election comes as Iran grapples with economic pressures, international sanctions, and enforcement of the compulsory headscarves for women. The candidates have held 2 debates, each pledging to tackle the financial challenges impacting the country's 85 million people. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Davido has threatened to sue Dami Crane over alleged defamation of character and cyberbullying. Crane, in a post via X on Friday, accused Davido of being a murderer while hurling curses at the OBO hitmaker. He also shared a video of Davido and Chioma and alleged that the 31-year-old is getting married because Chioma caught him cheating. Reacting to the claims, Chika Osolu Ojukwu, Davido's legal representatives, said Crane's allegations are unverified, false, and outlandish. The lawyer described Crane's post as malicious, orchestrated to defame and injure the reputation of Davido. Veteran Nollywood actor and producer Kanayo Okanayo has called out teen actress Angel Unigwe and her mother over an alleged breach of contract. The filmmaker claimed that Unigwe breached the filming contract with his production firm after her mother came and took her home before the expiration of the duration of the contract. He called on Nollywood producers to boycott the teen actress, threatening that he would come to disrupt any shoot involving her. That's it on entertainment news on News Now. Joy Uchejim, TV360, Lagos.
And on sports, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has invited bids from interested countries for the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League, Africa's Under-20 Cup of Nations and Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations. Africa's soccer governing body is also looking for a host for the CAF Awards 2024. Morocco hosted the last edition of the CAF Women's Champions League, while the previous editions of the Under-20 AFCON and Under-17 AFCON were staged in Egypt and Algeria, respectively. Morocco also hosted the 2023 edition of the CAF Awards. Still on sports, the regional governing body for football in North America, Central America and the Caribbean has announced on Friday that it will investigate the outline racial abuse directed at Canadian player Moise Bombito following his team's loss to Argentina in the opening game of the Copa America. Bombito received a barrage of online abuse after tackling Argentina star Lionel Messi late in a match on Thursday. Replays show the 24-year-old Colorado Rapids player slid into Messi and made heavy contact with his ankle. CONCACAF has issued a statement in support of Bombito and Canada following the abuse, adding that it is working with the South American football's governing body, CONMEBOL, as well as FIFA to identify the account responsible for the abuse. Well, that's all on News Now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.